Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's MasterAquatics. I'm just bringing you guys another video. It's just what I do. Anyway, sorry for the cringy intro. I just wanted to talk about some of the fish that I've kept, and I wanted to give you guys my personal experience on some fish that I've kept that were really hard to keep alive. And they were not only hard to keep alive just for me, but I believe for a lot of other people as well. These are just fish that just could not stay alive in my aquarium. And I also read that some of these fish were really hard to keep in other people's aquarium. So if you happen to come across these fish, you happen to buy them and they die on you, it might not have been your fault. You know, some of these fish, they're just not made for aquariums, but yet we have them in the hobby and they're just really hard to keep alive. Let's just go ahead and just jump right into the video and let's talk about these fish. Alright, so the first fish that I'm going to mention is the auto-sinkless catfish. I believe they are a member of the catfish family. Now, a while back, I had actually gotten these fish for my 125-gallon tank just to do some maintenance work because the algae was just growing out of control in my aquarium at the time, and I was just getting really tired of cleaning the algae over and over and over again just for it to keep reoccurring. So I knew I had to get some natural algae killers, and I thought, hey, auto-sinkless, they might be fit for the job. I also heard from other fish YouTubers that they are perfect algae eaters because they don't grow big and they always eat algae. They don't always need other types of food to sustain a healthy living condition. So I got these guys. I went to Petco and I got about 6 of them. They were doing a sale, so I couldn't resist. I know, I bought fish from Petco. I know, such a horrible person that I am. But you know what? Sometimes I go to Petco and I'm just getting some supplies and I come across some fish and I'm like, hey, there's these fish that I want to get. I'll just get them, and the water that they were in looked clean. But this was a really big mistake. Not only were my angelfish chasing these guys around because they're so small, but I also read up on these fish after I had bought these. I know, such a rookie mistake. I didn't research these guys. I just thought, oh hey, natural algae eaters and they're really good at eating algae. I'll just buy these fish. And I didn't think twice of doing research because I'm like, hey, I'm MasterAquatics. I'm a master. I know everything. But I ended up getting these guys, and the next day I ended up losing pretty much all of them in one day. And I thought, man, what did I do wrong? You know, the water was just pristine. It was really clean. It was really good. There was plenty of hiding spaces for these guys, and yet they ended up dying on me. It turns out these guys are mainly wild caught, and some of these fish are just not built to be living in aquariums. Next fish that I want to talk about are angelfish, and yes, right now you are looking at a messed up angelfish. Now before you click off of this video, stick around because I do have a clip of a dead angelfish stabbing my hand, which is pretty cool. I didn't think that was possible, but stick around. I promise you'll enjoy that. Maybe, maybe not. But the reason why I put angelfish in the list is because you guys already know, most of the fish that I keep were angelfish, but now, I'm keeping a variety of fish, but back then, mainly I kept angelfish, and I always had problems with angelfish, and I'll tell you why. It's because some of the angelfish varieties are weaker than the others. For example, silvers, in my opinion, are the strongest angelfish and the healthiest angelfish there ever was. And there's the angelfish that died and ended up stabbing my finger, which didn't hurt at all, but it was just pretty cool. So I decided to throw this clip in here. But the main types of angelfish that always died on me were kois, blacks, platinums, pretty much anything that wasn't silver. I don't know why. I'm thinking maybe because the other varieties have weaker genetics than the silvers. Silvers, I've never had a problem with them. Even to this day, there's a silver angelfish in my 75-gallon tank, and I got him from Petco, and he's been alive for almost a year now, and all he eats is flakes and occasionally bug bites. But kois, on the other hand, you guys know I no longer have kois, but back then I used to have a bunch of koi angelfish, and I spent a lot of money on them, but they ended up dying on me. Even with the continuous care and maintenance and effort and attention that I put into those guys, they still ended up dying on me. I don't know why. It just seems like the genetics of a koi angelfish or any other variety of angelfish just was not healthy enough to keep them alive as long as silvers. I don't know why that is, but if anybody has an explanation to that, I would love their input. Make sure you guys leave a comment down below explaining why that is. That's just from my personal experience, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the people that have kept angelfish have had angelfish die on them just for no reason. Like this koi angelfish here, I spent 30 bucks on him, and he ended up dying on me like 2 months later just for no reason. Like he was like 2 days before I was filming him dying, he was a very happy and healthy angelfish. Same with this angelfish here. He was a healthy and happy angelfish. I don't know what I did wrong. I mean, look at the water. The water is clean. It's clear. It's pristine, and people are gonna hate on me and say, "Oh, just because the water is clear doesn't mean that everything is fine." Well, then why are the other fish in the background doing fine and not that one? Okay, I mean, in the tank that fish was in is a 125-gallon tank. It's big enough to give it hiding spaces, to get away from aggression from other angelfish. I don't know, angelfish, besides the silver angelfish, sometimes they'll just die suddenly for no reason. And I know some of you guys are gonna be like, no, that doesn't happen. Yes, it does happen. I'm telling you right now, it does happen. You can give these guys, you know, as many water changes as you need to and take care of them, and they'll just end up dying on you. The next fish that I want to talk about is the discus fish. Of course, you guys should have known that this fish was going to be in this video. I mean, come on now, you can't have a top fish video that are hard to keep alive without having discus in there, because everybody knows these are very delicate fish, and losing one of these guys is one of the worst feelings in the world. Because I'm sorry guys, I know people in the fish hobby don't like to put cost as a factor when it comes to caring and loving these guys, but let's be real guys, if you spend money on a fish, if you spend more than $10 on the fish, in my opinion, and you lose that fish, it's heartbreaking, because everybody here works hard for their money, and everybody knows that if losing money on the fish, that money that you lost could have been spent on improving filtration, could have been spent on, you know, more food for your other fish. Maybe it could have went towards buying another tank. So every dollar is beneficial in the hobby. So when you get a discus and they die on you because they like to be kept in groups and they stressed out to death, or because, you know, the water level was just like 1% off of the pH, like something was off in the balance and the chemistry of the water. These fish, they like everything at 100% when it comes to water quality. If you don't have everything under control, you're losing a discus fish, and you're gonna lose $35, $50, $75, $100. These guys are very sensitive. The next fish that I wanted to add on here is the glasshead hump fish. Now luckily for me, I have one left out of 3 that's still alive, and the reason why I put these guys on the list is because, well, the other 2 that I got with this one here died pretty fast, and it's because they couldn't handle the stress and aggression of this one glasshead hump fish. You know, all it took was just 1 or 2 days of being beat up by that lone wolf glasshead humpfish during feeding time, and they ended up dying. Angelfish, on the other hand, they're sensitive to more to water parameters than to aggression from other angelfish. So these fish are definitely sensitive, because as soon as they get hit a few times, they're going down. And these guys are pretty pricey too. They're $30 a piece. So when you lose $30 of fish, oh my god, $30, you know how much money that can be used towards other good things. You know, you could buy, I'm not even gonna say what you can buy, you guys already know, but these guys are pretty hard to keep. As long as you take care of them and do daily water changes and you keep them in 6 or more, then you should be okay, but keeping them in 3 or less, you're just asking for trouble. Next fish that I want to put on this list that I've never kept before, but I have encountered these guys while fishing. These are called shad. These are the most sensitive fish in the world, because as soon as you take them out of the water and you grab them or throw them in a bucket to use as bait, they quickly start to deteriorate and fall apart. Scale starts coming off, slime coat starts coming off, and this is all just from barely grabbing them and touching them. They just, as soon as you touch them, they just start to die. They're like those plants that you touch, like barely touch, and then it fold, like the leaves just starts fold up. I don't know if you guys have seen those plants before, but anyways, these guys are super sensitive. Good luck keeping these guys in an aquarium. Very hard to keep alive. Alright guys, that's my time for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace out. Bye.